What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a doozy for you. There's a new article out on a book that was just released back on Tuesday, and they are bringing back a clone, a clone that was introduced in 2022 in a book titled Queen's Hope. Never read it, never heard of it. So it was really interesting to come across this article today. So let me pull this up. All right, so here we go, guys. Transgender clone trooper returns to Star Wars universe in new all ages book. Transgender is, so somebody who believes that they should have been born the other gender. There's no sex change or anything like that. They just kind of go on living as what they want to and how they feel, which again, I have no problems with this. I just don't know why this all has to be brought into Star Wars all the time. And, we saw some of this with the Acolyte, and, now we're hearing about this. And I don't know if anyone ever even read this other book, like Queen's Hope. I guess I've never heard of it. Here's a picture of this character. Her name is Sister, and apparently she talks to Anakin Skywalker about all of this, these feelings that she has, and Anakin kind of seems to be on board with this. A new Star Wars book released Tuesday has reintroduced a transgender clone trooper to the iconic franchise. All right. So Insight Editions, which describes itself as a publisher of books that push the boundaries of creativity, design, and production, published Star Wars Secrets of the Clone Troopers. In it, author Mark Sumerak and illustrator Alberto Busicchio provides readers with profiles of the clone soldiers. An online publication called The Gamer reported that one of the troopers, named Sister, is transgender. The description of Sister in the book is from the perspective of a captain of the clone army who says Sister adapted her name after other troopers accepted Sister's female gender identity. When one of our kind expressed her gender identity differently than her fellow troopers, she figured she'd have to hide who she truly was inside. So I have some issues with this, and we're going to talk about that when we're done with the article. The book depicts the Sister as a trooper with braided hair down to her breastplate, along with blue and pink accents contrasting with the white armor. Blue, pink, and white are the colors of the transgender flag. The Gamer noted that the Canadian author E.K. Johnson first mentioned Sister in a book called Queen's Hope, which tells the story of how people in a Star Wars senator's life navigated war. In the book, Sister met Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi who would become Darth Vader, before discussing her transgender identity. So it says the trooper reportedly told Skywalker about concerns she had of publicly identifying as transgender. The Jedi are all about transcending things. The Gamer quoted Skywalker as saying, "I don't think we can complain if you've transcended gender. Transcended gender. We'll work on it. But I like where it is heading." Yeah, that sounds just like Anakin. Okay, let's talk about this. All right, so I don't know why we have to do this with Star Wars all the time. That's number one. We saw what happened in the Acolyte. It failed miserably. You have a small group of people who actually liked it. I don't know how anyone could have liked it. The story was terrible. I don't know, guys. Listen, let's just get into this thing, because this is like just something I never thought I'd had to talk about on this channel, to be completely honest with you guys. Again, I have absolutely no issues with anyone, how they want to live their life. When I watch Star Wars, I want to go to a galaxy far, far away. Why do we have to bring in the politics and everything that is happening in current day We don't have this in any other franchise right now. Like, what other franchise can you say that this is what they're doing to it? I don't understand how Disney doesn't realize that they're destroying this franchise. I don't understand. They have completely ruined how many characters, and now we're going back and almost retconning at this point some of the best Star Wars we've gotten in the Clone Wars. So, anyways, those are my 2 cents. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. But I am going to go ahead and try to debunk some of this and why this should never even happened. Because I have 4 cases in the Clone Wars animated series that this basically proves that this would never happen. All right, so first we have Clone Trooper 99. So 99 was a malformed clone who just had a bunch of genetic defects, made him physically weaker and also incapable of serving as a soldier of the army. He was assigned to maintenance duties on Kamino instead of being part of the actual Republic or the army of the Republic. While he wasn't eliminated, his role was drastically different because of his physical conditions. So, second, we have Tup. And Tup was a clone trooper who developed a glitch in his control chip, which obviously was originally implanted to all the clones during or part of Order 66. The malfunction caused him to execute the order prematurely, leading to his execution after they discovered the chip defect. So, one has been banned now and the other has been taken care of. All right, so next we have Fives. Fives uncovered the conspiracy surrounding the actual inhibitor chips placed in all the clones. After discovering this, he was deemed a threat to the larger plan and ultimately executed by the Republic when he tried to expose the truth. Now, although he was not different from his brothers, as soon as something happens where they kind of go off on their own, because I mean, if you remember all of the episodes with Fives, he kind of went off on his own and kind of did all of this, and he ends up, being killed because he thought for himself. Finally, we have Cut Lachlan, and Cut was a clone who deserted the Republic after the Battle of Geonosis. And what he did is he chose to instead live as a farmer and raise a family. Now, while he wasn't physically eliminated like Tup and Fives, his abandonment of the clone army made him an outcast. So these are probably the big 4 of the clones that were considered different. Now, here's the question that I had, and I did quite a bit of research on this. So why is it that the Caminos, the ones who are creating the clone army, why is it that they would eliminate clones that are different? So this is what we're going to go through. And this is why I don't think that this part of the story now with Sister is really going to work, because I don't think that the Caminos would have it. So the first thing I want to talk about is efficiency. So the Republic needed a highly efficient army of soldiers that could follow orders without any type of hesitation. Clones who were physically or mentally different might slow down the military operations or make mistakes, which could lead to defeat in battle. And again, this is why they chose Jango Fett. He was a well-known bounty hunter who had many, many amazing skills. So that is the reason why they chose him to begin with. Number 2, uniformity. So the Kaminoans designed the clones to be as identical as possible in their skills, abilities, and behavior. This ensured that the army functioned as a single cohesive unit. Any clone that was too different would probably disrupt this and also make it harder to maintain discipline and order. Genetic stability is number 3, and this is the DNA. Remember, again, the DNA came from Jango Fett, who was highly skilled. He was a bounty hunter. He was the template for the clones. And if a clone showed genetic mutations or defects, it was seen as a failure of the cloning process. So the Kaminoans aimed to maintain the genetic purity of their creations, so they would eliminate any clones with significant deviations. Again, it all comes back to the same thing of They want them to be as similar as possible to follow the orders, which in the grand scheme of things would be Order 66. Number 4 would be cost effectiveness. So obviously, the creation of a clone army was very expensive and a very complex process. Now, eliminating defective clones early on would definitely help reduce the costs associated with training, equipping them, and caring for a clone that may not meet combat standards. So, if you take all that into consideration, I just don't see where in the Star Wars galaxy that the Kaminoans would have a heart and basically allow that to happen. My biggest issue is that I just don't think it needs to be in Star Wars, and it's just another example of that Disney has no idea what they're doing. Lucasfilm has no idea what they're doing. I just think they're so focused on making everything like it is on Earth in 2024 that sometimes they forget about story because they want to put all of these different agendas in, and they just don't understand what Star Wars is all about. I mean, even George Lucas came out and said it a while ago, saying, you know, the diversity comes from all of the different aliens that are in the original trilogy. And Disney, they come up with a few, but like most of them, it's like recycled. They're just recycling the same aliens here and there, and now we have to, have a transgender clone. We had the witches and the acolytes. Give me different aliens maybe instead. To me, it doesn't make any sense just with what we know about the Kaminoans, we know about the Republic, and I don't think that sister will be a thing. So, all right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.